Miguel Suazo 6-3 in his amateur fighting record, and we have called many of his fights. I love Miguel Suazo, man. Watching him compete every single time. He is just such a dynamic young fighter. Same thing, you talk about that frame. He's somehow going to be the shorter opponent in this fight.
At 6'3", at 170.
170, yeah.
You know, he's been a part of some weird fights over the years. You know, there was a fight where the entire arena had to be cleared out, and he fought with only the commission and us in attendance, and it was an amazing thing to watch. You know, we know he is always game, and, you know, he's been in Tuff-N-Uff for a long time, so him getting a title shot is kind of the culmination of all those years of hard work here tonight against a very tough, very game, undefeated opponent.
He is a professional tattoo artist. He also works in cardiology at the hospital. He's got big goals, and he's certainly a young man that can achieve them. In 5 years, he wants to be in the UFC, have his black belt in jiu-jitsu, and have a wife and a daughter. Love to see him back in the cage. Love to see him in a main event here at Tuff-N-Uff, fighting for the belt tonight. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape brought to us by OnlyFans. Slight reach advantage by about a ½ inch for Pabst. Otherwise, very, very identical, including the age, the height, everything in between. Here is Justin Bernard.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds, all for the Tuff-N-Uff World Amateur Welterweight Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He's a mixed martial artist holding an amateur record, 3 wins, 0 losses. He stands 6 feet 5 inches tall, weighing in at 168 pounds. Fighting out of Bozeman, Montana, Brayden Pabst. And now, introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He's a freestyle fighter, holding an amateur record, 6 wins, 3 losses. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in officially at 168.8 pounds. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Miguel Suazo. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Jimmy Garino.
Any questions from the right corner? Check the gloves if you want to. Come out.
170-pound belt is on the line. 5 rounds if necessary at 3 minutes apiece. These two fighters, boy, just the stature of the two of them at 170 pounds, so impressive. I can't wait to see this matchup. Touch of the gloves, and we are off. Pabst takes the center of the cage. Suazo just kind of easing into it so far.
Nice leg kick there by Suazo.
And we see these guys starting to feel each other's power for the first time. Suazo has got very dangerous kicks. We've seen him use those teeps incredibly effectively before inside of the Tuff-N-Uff cage.
Yeah, Pabst corner telling him to keep his hands high.
A little switch kick there from Pabst, though, kind of
a little unorthodox, but I like it.
Nice inside leg kick there from Pabst. Suazo putting those hands to work. Nice little combo there, going low and high.
Yeah, both of these fighters used to being the biggest guy in the ring.
Stay on him, Brayden. Cross high kick.
Suazo trying to come over the top. Pabst waving it off.
Shaking it off. Suazo looks like he's getting pretty comfortable in there, just kind of easing on in, and big punches from Suazo. Pabst manages to cover up, but you see why Pabst's corner was telling him to keep his hands high, because Suazo's starting to swing now.
I mean, I like that Pabst is telling him to come on and keeping his hands down. It makes it entertaining.
We've seen some opponents make that mistake with Suazo in the past.
I like it.
I do too, man. Pabst game, ready to go for this one. Big kick there from Suazo. Talk about power. And at 6'3", just winding that thing up.
Another nice inside leg kick there by Suazo. And again, this is a 5-round match.
A lot of action early on, a lot of kicks in the first round as we come down to our final 15 seconds of round number 1, and Suazo timed that one nicely. Big punches here to close out round number 1.
Unfortunately, it looks like Suazo caught a low blow there right at the end, that exchange. So this round's probably not going to be over just yet. I think we're going to...
That's exactly what's happening. So he's calling time before this round comes to a close. And for good reason, right? Because if you basically negate your opponent's minute of rest with a low blow right before the round ends, then your opponent's not having any time to recover. He gets 5 minutes if necessary. So ref giving him a warning right now, just telling him, hey, make sure you keep that up. And here it is to see, shin right to the...
Again, unintentional. And you know, when you're a 6'5" guy fighting a guy who's 6'3", these things happen.
A lot of limbs.
Yeah, definitely. But he's going to have to be cognizant
Do
of that.
these sort of things happen in MMA, Mahoney?
These things happen in MMA, Dave.
A little tribute to old Gus Johnson.
Best who ever did it.
All right, so they're going to, I guess, put 3 more seconds on the clock, or 1, and there you go.
You know, as many years as we've been calling fights, I don't know if we've ever seen it stop with like a half a second.
I don't think so. I was just thinking how odd that was of a moment where you've got, you know, there's just almost no time. But I think that's a really good call by the referee, making sure that the fighter has a chance to recover before they get back to action, and then just get right to the recovery. And we'll see if that benefits one fighter more. I thought that Suazo at the end of that round was actually pretty emphatically starting to win it, so I think that the extra rest there actually probably benefited Pabst maybe even a little bit more. But I like that Suazo isn't worried about that. Like, he needs to take the time to recover, and then he can get back to his game plan, which I thought was pretty effective. It was a close first round. I have a slight edge going to Suazo.
Yeah, I give the edge to Suazo in that first round as well. And I'm with you, Dave. I'm a firm believer of take the time, you know?
Yeah. Don't rush it.
Take the time, because you should, you know, in a fight like this, as close as it is, with fighters who are as good as these are, any sort of edge can shift the momentum of a fight, and we know Suazo definitely doesn't want that. Unintentional by Pabst, but a good, fun first round. I'm excited for round 2.
So that was an action-packed first round. Here we go, 3 more minutes on the clock. Pabst wearing the blue glove, Suazo wearing the red. There's that teat from Suazo that we've seen many times before. Seems like it comes from clean across the cage.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of a speed advantage from Suazo starting to develop. Pabst has a little bit of that reach advantage, but he's not firing quite as fast as we've seen Suazo so far in this fight.
Now, Pabst is known for his submission work, so I'll be curious to see if this fight ends up going to the ground. I mean, now that both these fighters have been so active in the first round, both of them pretty sweaty, but Suazo, no slouch when it comes to his ground game. He's very, very good and unorthodox when able to secure submissions that we've seen him do before. But right now, man, Suazo's hands are working for him. He's starting to land some big shots here. Pabst doing a nice job of standing in the pocket and eating them, but man, Suazo is punching hard.
But not punching himself out, you know, knows when to back away.
Yeah, not overextending.
Showing his experience here in the cage.
But he's got a bit of a smile on his face, which confidence appears to be there for Miguel Suazo right now. But Pabst still pushing forward too. Oh my.
Pabst is tough, though. I mean, he is.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of opponents not be able to weather that kind of storm from Suazo in the past. Pabst just ready for more, walking him down.
A little bit of blood on the inside nose of Pabst. Sure if that's a cut or if it's coming from the inside. But we're also seeing Pabst starting to leave his mouth open a little bit as well.
Always dangerous in the hands, too. That was something even from early on in round number 1. You know, when you're used to being, oh boy, that left hand right there from Suazo, that one stumbled Pabst a little bit. But when you're 6'5", I imagine that you're not really that accustomed to somebody at 170 pounds being able to have the same kind of reach to get inside like Miguel Suazo does. So maybe kind of breaking that habit of keeping those hands lower, because right now Suazo doing a good job of taking advantage.
And I think we saw that in the first round, that feeling out between both these fighters, fighting a fighter that, like, unlike either of them had seen in the past.
Yep. Oh, left hand again from Suazo. Partially checked by Pabst there, but man, those are big, heavy punches. Suazo doing a nice job of using that teep as well to kind of create some distance and set up those punches. And there you go, Suazo again throwing the heavy leather. And Pabst continuing to walk him down. Boy, big body kick there from Suazo. Ooh, Pabst with a nice time kick.
Yeah.
Oh, man, what a furious pace to round number 2. Oh, the teep kick puts him on the ground.
Exclamation point to the end of round number 2. Wow.
Boy, this fight is wild, man.
Pabst is tough, man.
Yeah,
Pabst is real tough.
I mean, we've seen Suazo use these kicks in the past, use these punches in the past, and it very rarely has the opponent standing on the other end walking forward, but Pabst is doing exactly that.
And even though we're not seeing the volume from Pabst, those punches have power behind them.
No question. And again, good combinations here. Going high, going low. Both of these fighters standing in there and throwing punches, but Suazo right now, much more accurate, landing cleanly. But man, Pabst does not seem to be that fazed by it, which is wild because we know from experience how much power those punches have behind them.
Absolutely, and we've seen no stalling in this fight. I mean, not even a thought of taking it to the ground, not even a clinch.
No. And when you've got two guys that are so talented with their ground game, the fact they're both willing to just stand in the pocket and just beat the crap out of each other, what a great main event tonight.
We're all winners here tonight.
Indeed we are. Round number 3 as Metallica plays us back in. Here we go. Championship belt on the line at 170 pounds. And Pabst comes out firing once again. Suazo waits a moment, counters back. Nice combination from both those guys to start round number 3. Pabst gets a little high there with that kick. Suazo wiping a little bit of sweat out of his eye. Trying to time Pabst coming in, who continues to walk forward. Big punches there from Suazo. Man, those are connecting.
Does a good job of getting in, landing a couple, and getting away from that cage. Suazo just showing his footwork is great as well.
Pabst, who's undefeated in his young career, you can see why. He's just like a zombie, man. He just keeps walking towards you.
He's got that Terminator mode. He just moves forward.
Just taking big punches and just waiting for an opportunity to counter back. Leading the way, though, when it comes to pressing the action. But Suazo, right now, seems to be more accurate.
And it also doesn't seem like Pabst is slowing down either. This is the pace he's been fighting at all night, and he's very, very dangerous. And Suazo recognizes that, not overextending himself, doing a very good job so far through these, we're almost at the halfway point here, Dave.
Minute 45 here in round number 3 between these two. And to think that we're only at the halfway point, what a war this has been between these two. Will we see this go the full 5 rounds? Who knows? But so far, man, these combinations that Suazo is unloading right now, they continue to land. But again, Pabst continues to walk forward. You're starting to see the redness on the legs, though, of Pabst.
Yep.
Suazo doing a good job landing those low kicks, trying to take some of the pep out of the step there.
And a nice inside leg kick there. Big right. Excuse me, left.
Arms everywhere, man.
Just arms, arms and faces.
Yeah, that nose for Pabst starting to open up quite a bit now, and I think that may have something to do with why that mouth is hanging open. I don't know if the nose is broken, but it's certainly bleeding right now, and that can obviously make it a lot harder to breathe through your nose. And anytime you leave that mouth hanging open, it's real dangerous when your opponent is throwing punches and kicks like that. You see the body is starting to get red from Pabst as well.
Yeah, hands are a little low. But being that tall, you're also do have a little bit of advantage, you know, because obviously Suazo is going to have to throw up at Pabst, but he's doing a good job so far.
Suazo doing a nice job of going low than going high, right? He's trying to find those opportunities to bring his opponent's hands down, and Pabst is covering when he needs to. So, I mean, Pabst continues to be the one pressing the action here as he's moving forward, even though Suazo answering back great. Nice little flurry there from Pabst at the end of round number 3.
This has been a real fun fight so far, Dave.
I can't believe that we potentially have 2 more rounds of this, man. It's wild.
I mean, I am just, you know, we're seeing Suazo throw everything he's got at Pabst, and Pabst just keeps coming forward.
Wild.
And we've never seen that in the history of Pabst, or excuse me, of our time calling Suazo's fights.
I mean, you just see, like, there's so many punches. Like, there was a little bit of a lull in the action there in round number 3, but it was for like 20 seconds because how could you possibly keep that pace up, you know?
That's 3 rounds of just action so far. You know, I'm curious to see, you know, because I have Suazo edged up 3 rounds to nothing. You know, I mean, I think Pabst has done a really good job, but I think Suazo's just he's outworked him. He's landed the bigger shots. Pabst doing a good job of pushing forward throughout every round so far. I'm curious to see if we see this fight even a thought of Suazo taking this to the ground.
And I don't think so. I mean, Suazo really hasn't been in danger, at least in my opinion, where he's not getting caught, you know? Like,
right.
But Pabst, I mean, he's so tough. He just keeps walking through these really good combinations, and he doesn't appear to be that fazed by it. It doesn't look like he's getting hurt, even though we know that Suazo throws with power. I mean, the body's starting to get red, but still, you know, round number 4 here starts the same way with, you know, Pabst just pressing the action, walking forward.
Yeah, both inside thighs of Pabst are just red as can be right now. I mean, those leg kicks from Suazo have to be adding up. But the same determination for Pabst we've seen all fight so far.
This guy's never lost, man. It's like he's just non-stop. It's like, you know, even when you see a combination like that one had to have hurt, he just keeps walking forward. We're ready to fight some more.
Pabst landed a couple shots right there as well.
Nice right hand there from Miguel. More of those leg kicks. Pabst doing a nice job checking as many as he can, but man, Suazo just laying it on thick with the leg kicks. Pabst doesn't look like he's slowing down. Left hand there connects from Suazo. Pabst just keeps on walking forward.
Big body shot from Suazo. Yeah, I'd like to see that uppercut from Suazo a little bit more. You know, he's had success in round 2 and 3 so far with that.
Big punches again from Suazo, and Pabst once again walks towards the center of the cage. Nice right hand from Pabst. Oh, Suazo counters him coming in.
Good combination, but man,
how is he walking through?
Dude, he's like the double Korean zombie.
It's unbelievable, man. He's like a White Walker.
Dude, for real.
And you see Pabst, he's starting to wipe some of that blood away from the right eye because Miguel, I think, caught him enough there where the eye is not just bleeding, but it's also starting to swell up a little bit. And we'll see if that causes a problem here as we get closer to round number 5. But yeah, it's the right eye, and that's the side that Suazo's been going to, and again, he dots him.
Yeah, I mean, we got a little bit of blood on the left cheek of Suazo. I can't tell if that's a cut or if that's blood from another place. But yeah, that eye on Pabst is starting to get real iffy. I mean, we've seen fights stop for less here in Tuff-N-Uff, You know, you got to think, you know, depending on where that is and how much swelling there is, fighter safety is always paramount, Dave.
Yeah, it's a championship fight, though, so I think they'll give it a little bit of leeway. Suazo, again, with a couple of big shots as round number 4 is now in the bag. And you see Pabst, he is starting to limp pretty aggressively. I mean, he's taking so much damage. And again, what a badass to be able to fight through all of this, man. Just unbelievable grit from this young man who, again, you can see why he's undefeated. But, you know, here we are looking at some of the action from round number 4, and the fact that these guys are trading this kind of punching power and kicking power this far into this fight is unbelievable. And the fact that, you know, Pabst, after all of this damage, kind of has to hobble back to his stool, but still is as game as he is unreal, man.
Yeah, as we saw right there in that final replay, you know, that was the best punch that we've seen, I think, Pabst land in this fight so far. That was a big right, but it was immediately answered back by Suazo. Nice little combination there. You know, again, I have it 4-0 Suazo going into the 5th and final round. So I think, you know, if Pabst, his corner's got to tell him that he needs a finish right here if he wants to walk away with the Tuff-N-Uff championship belt tonight. This has been a fun fight.
It's been a great fight, man. You talk about
I can't believe
so well matched. I
yes.
mean, these body types are just perfect to fight each other. You got two just giants fighting at 170 pounds. 5th and final round. I'm with you. I think Pabst needs a finish here. I think his corner told him that. Well, Miguel comes out and instantly starts cracking away again.
Miguel knows there's only 3 minutes left.
Boy. You see the sweat flying, and Miguel is punching hard, man.
I'm glad they're in the center of the ring.
So you don't get covered in sweat
I don't
and
get
blood?
covered, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Miguel has fought so hard to get to this moment in Tuff-N-Uff. And this is just, I mean, it's been a pleasure to watch and pleasure to call.
Just an absolute total pros pro, man. Like, he always comes out prepared, always puts on a great fight. And Pabst continues. I mean, he's bleeding out of his nose. His mouth is open.
And he's pushing forward.
Yes, that's just been the hallmark of this fight. I mean, you see the damage that's been inflicted on his face, and still he's pressing forward, man. What a fun fighter. And Suazo swinging with everything that he has got. 2 minutes left in this bout. A full 5 rounds of action between these two. No slowing down now.
Ooh. Just about 90 seconds left in this final round, Dave.
Yeah, I'm just in awe that these guys are still clashing the way that they are after, you know, 4.5 rounds of this type of fighting.
Again, not a single clinch, not a single shot. 2 guys on their feet, leaving it all inside the cage. Warriors.
Great title fight here at Tuff-N-Uff between these two. Inside the final minute between these two.
Another nice inside leg kick there by Suazo.
Another big body shot. Suazo with those body kicks. Time and time again, sticking with the game plan. Oh, look at this. We get a clinch. We get a takedown attempt.
He heard me.
For a moment.
He heard me.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Left hand straight to the chin. And no surprise, Pabst walks right through it.
How is he standing?
I don't know, man.
One of the toughest guys we've seen in the Tuff-N-Uff cage in a long time. Final 10 seconds.
Last moments of what has been a thrilling title fight between these two. We are somehow going to see this brawl go to the judges' scorecards. Both fighters have their hands in the air.
Warriors.
Only one's going to win, but you know what, guys? Take a victory lap. That was a great fight.
The main event paid off. Another fantastic championship bout here at Tuff-N-Uff, Dave. The future stars of MMA. It's called that for a reason.
And I mean, look at these guys just standing in the center of the cage throughout this entire fight. Back Back and forth they went, body shots, head shots, both opponents showing some blood, and man, I tell you what a great fight between these guys. And the crowd here, the sold-out crowd at the Sahara Las Vegas, they're pumped up and ready to go. The judges turning in their scorecards now. I mean, what an absolute war. You come to Tuff-N-Uff and you know that you're going to see the future stars of MMA. But what does that look like? These guys with heart, with skill, and with a willingness to go in there and lay it all on the line. That was exactly what you hope for in a title fight.
What a way to round out this card, Dave. Whew. Impressive. Love the show of sportsmanship. Man, two of the toughest guys we've seen in this division in a long time.
Unbelievable, man. All right, the judges have rendered their decision. Here is Justin Bernard with the official announcement of who is our new champion at 170 pounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we have your winner by unanimous decision and new Tuff-N-Uff amateur welterweight champion of the world, Miguel Suazo.
Oh, man, what a great moment for that young man. He has worked so hard for this. Justin Bernard standing by with our champ.
Standing inside the cage with your winner tonight, Miguel Suazo. You are the definition of don't quit. You are an inspiration to anybody who has followed your story over the last 3 years. You are here. You have the belt. Your family and friends are here. How great does it feel?
This moment, we've worked so hard. You guys don't know what it costs to get this. I want to say thank you to my mom. She backed me up since day one. Thank you to my coach, my team, Las Vegas Combat Academy. You fucking want to flip? Come get it!
There you go. You're winning tonight. Now you improved to 7-3. What is next for Miguel Suazo? Are you going to defend it, or are we moving up to pro?
We're going pro, baby!
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The winner tonight, Miguel Suazo.
Hasn't been an easy road, but that's how champions are made. Congratulations to Miguel Suazo, your new champ at 170 pounds. And thanks for being with us here on beIN Sports for another round of the future stars of MMA. This is Tuff-N-Uff.